this tutorial, we will be making a 3D Bulbasaur. As a quick overview, we'll start by making Bulbasaur's body, followed by his head, and then the other little details like the teeth, claws, bulb, before adding colours and a simple scene for render. While the whole tutorial is 40 minutes long, it will be split across 3 videos. I'm using Blender 3.3.3, but I think you can still follow it if you use a different version. Another thing you can do beforehand is find reference pictures of Bulbasaur in places like Pinterest, just to get an idea of how you want your Bulbasaur to look. I'll try my best to explain everything that I do, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will respond as soon as I can. Enjoy! When you first open Blender, you'll see a default cube. Just delete that, just like any other tutorial. What I like to do is right-click, vertical split the screen in 2. On the right side, I like to do all my modeling, whereas on the left side, that's where I like to look at the materials and the render previews. This is just my preference. You can do it how you want to, but that's how I will be doing it in this tutorial. Next, you need to go into Edit Preferences and click on Add-ons. In the search, type Extra. You want to use the Add Mesh Extra Objects. So check that box and you're ready to go. For the body, first you want to add a round cube. Press Shift A and select round cube. You may use the settings that I have on screen, mainly the radius and the arc. And you can now begin to tweak the object a little bit. I squish it down by doing S and then Z. You can fine tune it a little more by changing the numbers. And repeat this on the X axis. Then I just move it down a little bit by pressing G and then Z and pulling the object down. And I go a little pedantic with the numbers, I know. Next, we're going to cut the object in half. So in edit mode with the object selected, click Mesh and then bisect. So I like to make sure the numbers are quite accurate, so you can follow what I do. With the object selected in object mode, add the mirror modifier. You'll be using that quite a bit. Now, press Ctrl numpad 7 to look at the underside of his body. In vertex selection mode, you want to click 2 vertices as shown on screen and X delete. Now in edge select mode, Shift Alt and click the edge to get the loop and mesh transform to sphere. I'm going to move the cursor outwards in order to round out this leg hole. And you're going to repeat with this second leg hole on the back. So after selecting, mesh, transform to sphere, move the cursor out to round out the leg hole. I went a tiny bit rogue here. I decided with the first leg hole selected, I would just pull it down a little bit with GZ. You don't have to do this. I don't know what I was doing. But more importantly, with the leg hole selected, you should press G and then X in order to move it out from the center. Kind of widen Bulbasaur's hips a little bit. Then press E to extrude, Z to bring it down, and again. Then S to scale inwards, and press F in order to fill in the feet. Now press select vertex selection, S, Z, 0 in order to get all the vertices in a straight line. I do apologize, that may have been a little bit fast. Feel free to rewind and rewatch to get all the values accurately. So you add a subdivision surface modifier and right click shade smooth. What I do here next is tweak the legs a little bit more. You can follow what I do or not at all, or just you could do something completely different. I just wanted to widen out the legs a little bit more, make it look a little bit more cute, because Bulbasaur is a very cute thing. Here I am trying to bring the front legs a little bit more forward. And I do it again with the back legs, bringing them backwards a little bit more. And there you have it, Bulbasaur's headless body for now. To make the head, we also add another round cube. We can keep the same parameters that we had last time. With the object selected, scale it down as you see fit, and pressing GZ to bring it up, so where a head would be. You can also press numpad 3 to go into side view and start tweaking the head to be more Bulbasaur-like. Once again, I like to just squish it down for that super cute look. In object view, press tab to get into edit view. We're going to start making some holes. Apparently not yet. I mean, we're going to go mesh bisect, and just like we did with the body, we're going to cut the head in half. So we can add, you guessed it, a mirror modifier. Now we're going to in vertex select mode, delete that vertex. We're gonna shift alt, select that edge loop, go to mesh, transform to sphere, and you've done this before, just move the cursor out. Then we're gonna press E to extrude the ears out. Gonna press E again to extrude just a little bit more, and then I'm going to merge it to center. Feel free to watch that again if needed. Remember to put the clipping option on in the mirror modifier. Here I'm just tweaking the shape of the head further by selecting the loops, and GX to move the head in with proportional editing on, so I pressed O for that. looks like I'm just going Rambo with selecting loops along the top of Bulbasaur's head. I encourage you to experiment. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. In vertex select mode, we're going to go Rambo again, deleting vertices. It's a very wide mouth. And with proportional editing on again, by pressing O, bring up the bottom lip, widen the corner of the mouth, and bring down the center of the lip. You can keep referring to whatever reference pictures you've found of Bulbasaur. And sit in silence and admire your work, like I'm apparently doing. So, for the 100th time, delete that vertex, edge select, and mesh transform to sphere, round out the eye holes, and press G, move the eye holes around as you see fit. And you may even want to move the vertices about to create more of that arched window anime cute eye look. Edge select, you want to press E to extrude, but then S in order to scale in that extrude. I do a series of extruding, scaling it in, and pushing in the edges with G and Y. And then you do the same with the mouse. Here I'm pushing it in a little more, and then I press F in order to fill in that gaping hole. Now I add a subdivision surface modifier. And then right click Shade Smooth. And turn your model around a little, admire him. Here is just a friendly reminder to keep on refining your mesh. Here I'm just tweaking the nose a little bit by bringing it out a bit more to form the nose. You're going to find you'll be forever refining, and that's okay. And just as a final note, when I was happy with the meshes, I applied all modifiers, which included the mirror and the subdivision surface modifier, just to lock it all in. Though I did decide to add yet another subdivision surface modifier afterwards, but I did not apply that. Well done! You have made Bulbasaur's body and head, and that concludes part 1. I'll see you in the next episode where we finish Bulbasaur's base mesh with all the little details. Bye!